What's up guys, welcome to my first video in this series. Don't really have a name for it yet, but today I just wanted to briefly talk about nutrition and a couple scenarios that you might find yourself in. I know for one, I get a ton of people, not a ton of people, I get a decent amount of people asking me, I'm this body weight, I want to lose 10 pounds. What should I do? And then I have another set of people that are a little bit heavier that want to know whether they should cut and then gain muscle, if they should gain muscle now then cut. So I'm just going to make it simple for me, and I'm going to go over the 3 scenarios that you could be in and just how to manage your diet. There's a lot of misconceptions and not a lot of people understand dieting, and they try to overcomplicate it. And it's not that complicated of a thing. Yeah, I just have a couple things listed on the board. So Nutrition 101, the 3 scenarios you could find yourself in. There's cutting, maintaining, or gaining, or bulking. If you guys can see that all the way over there. So when you're evaluating yourself, so say you're in the gym, you've been working out, and you don't know what you should do. Should I bulk? Should I gain muscle? Should I cut? Should I lose muscle? Should I get a little bit leaner? Or should I just maintain and steadily gain muscle? And this all depends on your goals. So if you're a powerlifter, you would generally want to go towards the maintaining or slightly bulking part. But if you're a bodybuilder and say you have a competition in 16 to 20 weeks, you might be more towards the maintaining or cutting side. So here are the 3 scenarios. First off, cutting. The most popular one, everyone wants to get in shape, everyone wants to have abs, veins, everything like that. So normally with most cutting programs or philosophies is you're gonna have a lower amount of calories. So say your basal metabolic rate is 2,000 and you're doing no cardio, so just 2,000 flat, you would be eating 1,700, 1,800 calories. That way you're slowly or slightly in a deficit. Most cutting periods could have minimal amounts of cardio. Some can have lots of cardio. It all depends on the time frame that you're looking to lose weight and how much weight you're wanting to lose. And you're generally going to have an increased water intake due to some coaches wanting to carb cycle, and we're getting a little bit more in depth here. But normally, generally, you want to increase water intake so you're not holding on to any water. Okay, second scenario, maintaining. So maintaining is exactly what it sounds like. You're maintaining your weight. So if you're 180 pounds, you stay 180 pounds. Now, give or take a couple pounds fluctuation, you might be 182 one day, 178 the other day, due to how much water you drink. But if you control all the variables correctly, you should stay roughly around the same weight. And as long as you progressively overload in the gym, you will see steady progress over time. Just a quick side note, the one I recommend the most for the most people is maintaining. Not many people need to bulk to get super fat. That's the one reason why I'm not a big proponent of bulking. You get very, very fat most of the time. And cutting, it's mental warfare. It's very hard on your mental psyche. So some people just aren't really set up for cutting. So maintaining normal calories, we just went over that. So if you're at 2,000 calories, you eat 2,000 calories, as accurate as possible. And I also added sometimes cardio. Now you might be asking yourself, well, if you're maintaining and you don't want to lose weight, why would you do cardio? And a lot of people overlook the fact that your heart is a muscle. It needs to be worked. And if you're not doing any cardio and you're in the gym working out your bicep or your tricep, you would also want to work out your heart. Because at the end of the day, the reason why we do this is for longevity, to be healthier. And if you want to go the more healthy route instead of dieting like a bodybuilder and getting contest lean, you have to do cardio. And the simple thing is this: if you're eating 2,000 calories and you do 100 calories of cardio, find something that's 100 calories and eat it that day. That way, you're at 21. It negates itself. So if you're eating 2,000 and you have something that's 100 calories of cardio, and you eat something that's 100 calories, you're at 21, you're still net 0. You won't gain any weight as long as your water intake is normal. Normal water intake, a gallon. half a gallon to a gallon. Don't make it super complicated. Going back to cutting, increase water intake. I would like, for most people, around a gallon, gallon and a half. If you can, 2 gallons, but you're going to have to add some additives to make the water taste a little bit better because that's a lot of water. But I digress. So maintaining normal calories, sometimes cardio because we're trying to be healthy, work out the heart. Stop being lazy. You have to do your cardio. It doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes HIIT. It can be 20, 25 minutes, list, steady state, whatever you want. Just something to get your heart rate up. And normal water intake. Now, the third scenario and the final scenario before I go a little bit more in depth into how you can calculate if you say you want to cut, how do I calculate cutting? We'll get in that in a second with all the other scenarios. Bulking, higher calories. Higher calories does not mean a 500 calorie surplus. So say you're eating 2,000 in your maintenance and you're like, okay, I maintained for 6 months, I want to try bulking. You do not go from 2,000 to 3,000. That's how you gain fat and that's how you look shitty and we don't want that. So with bulking, you're gonna have higher calories. I recommend, same with cutting. If your maintenance is 2,000, so I'll write that. If your maintenance is 2,000 and you want to cut, all right, so just 1850 minus 250. 1850, that's your cutting. And you're gonna eat that for 5-6 weeks, and if you plateau, then you change it up. Now bulking on the other side, you add 250, 2250. Bam. And you eat that until you stop gaining weight, and then you increase it another 250. What most people do is say their maintenance is 2,000, so 2,000 again. What they'll do is they'll go, I want to lose weight. Well, I want to lose 20 pounds, and I want to lose it in a month. Well, okay, instead of eating 1850, let's just expedite that process and do 1250. Now these numbers are not exact. You will never be able to diet off of 1,250 calories. That's nothing. But 1,250 calories, you're going to lose that weight. But you're also going to feel like shit and you're going to lose muscle. I recommend being more conservative and take the 250 calorie deficit over the 750 calorie deficit. Now that goes on the other spectrum as well. 2250. What most people do is I want to gain weight. I'm a hard gainer. I need to eat 1,000 grams of carbs every single day. So they'll go from 2250 to 3,500, the staple number for bulking. And if you truly calculate and eat 3,500 calories, you will gain weight. Whether you are a hard gainer, anything like that, you just can't gain weight, fast metabolism, whatever excuse you want to use. If you accurately eat 3,500 calories per day and have normal water intake and do a little cardio, you will gain weight, guaranteed, 100%. But will it be good weight? No. It's going to be a lot of fat. Not a lot of people know this, but 3,500 calories is 1 pound of fat. So for every pound of fat, it's 3,500 calories. So if you eat in a 7 days in a week, if you eat in a 500 calorie surplus for 7 days, 7 times 5 is 35. Add the 2 zeros, 3,500. So if you're eating 500 calories extra than your maintenance, you'll gain a pound of fat per week. Now, if it's higher than 500, you can see increased fat growth, increased fat gain, I guess you could call it. So we try to minimize that. We cut it in half. So from 500 to 250, that's how I got that number. So realistically, you're only gaining half a pound of fat, and then with that extra body weight comes muscle gain. So if you gain half a pound of fat, don't expect it to stay half a pound of fat. If you half a pound of fat in a week, but in 3 weeks you could build muscle, and then muscle weighs more than fat, then we're getting a little bit more complicated. But just to summarize it all up, cutting, lower calories than your maintenance, lots of cardio, moderate to a lot, depends on how deep you are in the cut, then increase water intake. I would recommend 250 calories below your maintenance. So say your maintenance is 2,000, 1850. or 1800, whatever it comes out to. I'm not good at math. Maintaining normal calories. So if your maintenance is 2000, you're going to just maintain 2000. Simple. If this is the easiest, this is by far the best for most beginners. Maintenance, normal calories, sometimes cardio, you have to work out the heart, and normal water intake, half a gallon to a gallon per day. You have to drink your water. And then lastly, bulking, higher calories, 250 calories surplus, little to no cardio. I would err on the side of little, but if you're very serious about your bulk and you want to maximize your muscle gain or whatever, then you can do no cardio. But you have to understand your bulking can't last forever. You have to cut eventually, so you have to do cardio. So might as well work your cardiovascular system up to where whenever you do start cutting, you're not dying on the treadmill after 10 minutes. And then normal water intake, because water intake doesn't stay the same. You have to drink water to live. But 1850, 2000, 2250, those are the typical calories. Now, whatever your maintenance is depends. Say your maintenance is 3000, then your cutting is only going to be 2700. And your bulking is only going to be 3250. So these are normal examples. Now I'm going to break down the scenarios even more, how to calculate your calories, what websites to go on, things of that nature. But I'll be right back.